Hey guys, it's Jordan with JT Performance, and today we're going to go over one of the player uh, assessments that we use for some of our athletes who come into our program. And essentially, what I want you to do is kind of follow along, and it's very simple. We'll go over 7 different categories that we examine with our golfers, and simply listen to kind of what we talk about, some of the points we touch on, and just simply put if you feel like this is a strength or a weakness that you actually possess. And then when we finish with these, we'll kind of wrap up and kind of explain what we're going for. The first one that we want to look at is physiological attributes. So this includes athleticism, flexibility, hand-eye coordination, endurance, and aerobic training. If you feel like this is something that is a strength or a weakness, just kind of think about it for a little bit and just put a check next to one or the other. The next we want to look at is high learnability, and kind of what this implies is how quick you are to acquire skills or develop those skills. This could include for golfing the manipulation of the swing, creativity, adaptability of your course environment, shot creation, or even kind of along the lines of like mental control, cognitive control. You feel like that's a strength or a weakness. The third thing that we like to look at and we want to assess is one's ability to improve or develop along with their practice, with how well they're developing their skills. Again, this looks like one's ability to recreate swings in high stress scenarios in play, like competitive play, things like that. And then additionally, this includes essentially just your ability to kind of take your learned skills or abilities and how well you're able to kind of adopt those as your own, and in the sense of not needing like an instructor or something like that to recreate these swings. Is that a strength or weakness? Another thing we look at is exceptional attitude. This kind of implies how well you adapt to kind of the instruction that you receive. Are you highly disciplined? Do you take initiative? Is training, is the routine that you go through with training, are you doing that at a dedicated level, or, at a high quality level? Essentially, are you taking your practice seriously? Are you dedicated to working on your weaknesses, in the sense of, are you dedicated to practicing a certain type of shot or a certain club that is not as easy perhaps as maybe some of the others to learn? So is that a strength or a weakness? Another thing we want to touch on is personality traits. So intrinsic motivation. How motivated are you just internally? Are you seeking to progress your golf game for something that kind of drives you kind of from within? How persistent are you? Are you dedicated to practicing? How determined are you? What kind of creativity, in a sense of how well can you, I guess, get creative in a sense when you're actually when you're practicing and going through these motions. And another one, perhaps one of the most important ones, is resilience. So how well are you able to overcome, adversity? Is this a strength or a weakness? Another thing we want to look at is your ability to acquire early on, essentially a psychological edge over the competition. And again, this includes mental toughness, emotional stability, self-regulation, being able to focus. Do you feel like you're able to focus or dedicate yourself in these moments stronger than your competition? Strength or weakness? The last one we'll look at is more of a golf-specific attributes. How well do you feel your shots? Are you able to relax your swing when you need to? Are you tense? Are you able to make these shots based off of feel when you actually need them? Now I kind of call this with something that I would say is an unconscious swing mechanic shift. This is kind of the ability to naturally make a shot or relax your hands or your forearms or your arms when you need to create a specific kind of shot. How well do you feel the greens? How well do you feel judgment shots, based on things like fatigue, confidence, hazards? How well do you feel like you're able to essentially create the shots you need to create in these high stress moments? Is that a strength or a weakness? If you're looking to improve your game, essentially I highly recommend, not only do you give yourself this assessment, go through some of these ideas. Which ones do you think you're strong with? Which are your strengths? Are you good at some of these things? Are you not so good at some of the other ones? What are some aspects of your own game that you'd like to improve? And if you're interested in kind of pursuing this more and you want to take your game to the next level, give me a call, 940-231-4822, or just send me an email. I'd be happy to help.